I'm just telling people come up to me and they're like, what's the deal about that? They think he's an ass, yeah. Yes. But I don't think he is deep down.
Yeah.
Just shows that.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Oh, can I get this out of here? Can we get this out of here?
Let's tidy up a little around here.
I haven't heard much of that the whole time here.
Welcome back, Tyson. All right, welcome back to Championship Court here. You're looking at Tyler Loong getting ready to serve to Tyson McGuffin. This is a bronze medal match. That means that the winner will go on to the gold medal match to face Mr. Ben Johns, and the loser will have to settle for the bronze medal here. Neither of these players want that. That ball lands in from Tyson McGuffin. It's Mark Renison here, joined once again by Dave, the Badger Weinbach. Dave, welcome back to the booth.
Good to be back. You know, Mark, we just witnessed a very special gold medal women's match there. Michelle Esquivel gave it her all, but Irina was just too good. But getting back to this match, you know, these players did meet earlier on today, and I think McGuffin took that match in 2 games. I think it was like 11-5, 11-6 early on, and I'm not sure if Loong has ever beaten McGuffin in singles. I know they've played many times, and both players just came off some really tough matches. Tyler Loong with a great, hard-fought victory in his match. We'll pull up the bracket, Mark, and we'll get the scores. And, of course, McGuffin with a 3-set war with Ben Johns that you and I called about an hour and a half ago. Oh, and that skids right on the line, sliding away from the Loong forehand.
Speaking of sliding, it's one of the things we can watch from these, expect from these players, Dave, that I think is so fun about watching these athletes out here is this is like a gritty hard court, and to watch them slide around on it really is something.
Good deception.
That was a situation where McGuffin held off as long as he possibly could, waiting to see where Loong was going to commit to. And when he saw Loong lean left, he went right. That's a move that Loong loves to do, is he loves to jump the kitchen on that side.
And maybe, Dave, you can talk about why players, you know, if people aren't familiar with it, or maybe they're watching singles for the first time, or they're not quite sure, why would players jump over the kitchen and put themselves actually out of bounds by the time they land? What's the strategy behind that?
The biggest reason is it takes time away from your opponent, and it creates an angle for your next shot that makes for an easier kill shot. So the reason you do that is because your next shot's going to be a kill shot, so it doesn't matter that you're out of position, because hopefully the point is over.
1-3.
At least that's the objective. And Tyler is as good as anybody in the game. And I have a feeling we're going to see it often, Mark, in this matchup, where Loong tries to jump the kitchen both on his right side, which is his forehand side, but he also will do it on the left side of the court, where he's got his backhand.
Difficult serve from McGuffin. That forces Loong to hit from further back, and that's going to be so important, Dave, to get that serve deep, not necessarily to win the point outright. but to put the returner in a position where they can't easily come forward and apply pressure at the net.
4-1.
Mark, I really look for McGuffin to try to not be on this court for too long in this match. He wants to get this and be all business, get this done, because we know who's waiting in the wings. Oh! Oh my gosh! To get that ball back would have been unbelievable and a lot, and he drove it. I can't even tell you, Mark, what his grip was there. But remarkably, McGuffin stayed in the point. I mean, if it was me, I would have been going back to serve the next serve, Mark.
That's one of the things we talked about here. You can never count these players out. We saw that a moment ago in the women's gold match between Irina Tereschenko and Michelle Esquivel. We're seeing it here right now in this bronze match between McGuffin and Loong. So athletic, and that's one of the evolution of pickleball. The number of times, Dave, I hear from people talking about how pickleball is changing and how it seems like every time you take a look, the players are getting better. It really is in terms of the athleticism that we're seeing out here, that's really shifting the way that we think about pickleball.
McGuffin missing an easy forehand volley there that he'll make 99 out of 100 times.
Oh my goodness.
It's the sliding we were talking about from Loong.
I think he might have aggravated a leg there on that last slide. Let's keep an eye on Loong's footwork here, Mark.
Well, we did see earlier when he was out here, did stumble a little bit, almost rolled his ankle. And these guys play such physical style of pickleball. There's an example of jumping the corner. We talked about that before, getting the ball before it gets too low.
So you see how that gave him a much easier shot because he got the ball at its apex. He got that ball at the highest point, which gave him a better angle to finish that point down the line for the winner. Oh my. This is unbelievable pickleball. I mean, Loong is playing great. I mean, I don't know what else Tyler can do here, and he just takes a deep breath and a little frustration because he knows he's hitting great shots. He's running balls down. He's making Tyson hit extra balls, but McGuffin is just that much of an elite athlete.
Great chance to remind people, if you are watching the stream, I'd like you to do two things. First thing is to hit that share button so other people can join in on the fun and enjoy this great action. And once and only once you've hit that share button, then say hi to us. Let Dave know where you're watching from. Did you play any pickleball today? Tell us all about it. As we watch Tyler Loong put away that high forehand volley down to the backhand side of McGuffin for a winner.
A reminder, pickleball friends, this is just the first tournament here in the Professional Pickleball Association Series, one of 7 this year. And as we have time throughout this broadcast, we'll try to give you some locations and dates of future tournaments. But the next one is going to be next month in Atlanta, Georgia, at a Lifetime Fitness in Peachtree Corners, I believe, as we witness a terrific forehand pass down the line to the Loong's backhand, and Loong could not catch up to that ball.
We'll say hi to a few people who we will say hi to because you shared. Raymond Boulat from Sherman Oaks, California. Sandy Smith, Missouri. Jeff Miller in San Antonio. Felicia Barber says hi, Dave, watching from Mays Landing, New Jersey. Mark Huggins, North Palm Beach. Judy Hawkins, St. George. And Keith Ramos from Down East Maine, St. Croix Valley Pickleball. Tyler Loong serving 3-7. He's trying to construct a few points here, and that's the way to start.
Great forehand.
Christian Hammerum watching from Denmark. Hey, Christian. And right
11-point timeout. Loong takes a little.
All right, we got a quick hydration break from our friends at Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. Back in a second with more Mark and Dave on Championship Court.
It's no secret I lose so many electrolytes when I play. Eventually, I either start cramping or I run out of gas.
Electrolyte Supreme gives me enough energy and hydration.
They prevent cramps, and what's really important to me, they help me to recover quicker.
I know I can push myself a little bit more and not have to worry about cramps.
I feel better, I feel good, and it's fun to feel good.
We're feeling great, we're energized, and we're ready to have a great day, right, Lucy?
And it's fun to feel good.
Back to the court. Why don't you put your hands together one more time for these fine folks.
And we're back here live on Championship Court. Mark Renison alongside Dave Weinbach. You're looking at Tyler Loong getting ready to serve here in this bronze medal match against Tyson McGuffin. 4-7 right now. The winner of this will go on to play for gold against Ben Johns. The loser of it will have to satisfy.
Wow. I mean,
just out of reach.
But McGuffin hit a phenomenal return deep in the corner. Loong hits an incredible forehand cross court, which he thought was a winner. McGuffin goes on full stretch backhand volley. This is incredible singles here, Mark Renison.
It is singles. I mean, I had someone earlier today talking to me, Dave, that I saw here on the grounds at the Mesa Tennis Center say, I didn't know singles was so exciting. And it's a different kind of excitement, they told me. You know, when you play doubles, you see a lot of these bang-bang rallies up near the net, those quick reflex volleys that you're so great at. And this is a different kind of excitement. This is a little bit more sort of run-and-gun kind of style where players sliding all over the courts. Different kind of excitement, and it's really nice to have that variety here in the PPA Tour.
Great crowds here all week. Oh,
speaking of the PPA Tour, we had someone, Deke Marshall, who's been with us throughout this tournament, asking if all the PPA tournaments are going to be broadcast like this. They will be, Deke. The team at ProPickleball Media, alongside Steve Taylor from Digital Spatula, can be using that great Logitech equipment to bring you this crystal clear video and audio. I'll be doing the broadcast commentary for 4 out of the 7 events, including the Grand Slam event in Newport Beach, California, as well as the PPA Championships in Las Vegas and the Grand Slam Qualifier in Dallas.
So thanks for that question, Steve. And of course,
I guess
we will be
that means
bringing
they're
you.
enjoying it. They want to know more.
We've gotten a lot of great feedback, Mark. Carl and Steve and you and all the various commentators bringing all this great live action. So for the folks that can't physically be here, able to take in all this great action, not only live, but of course these matches are recorded. So down the road, anybody can watch these and enjoy this great action here of the best players in the world. And there's an unbelievable slice backhand drop volley. It can be a very effective tool in the singles game.
All right, we'll stay with this for a moment while we talk. Want to give a shout out to a special viewer right now, Shelly Smith Loon, watching from Utah. Shelly Smith Loon happens to be the mother of Tyler Loon. So Tyler's mom in the house. Welcome, Shelly. Your son's doing a great job out here. We got Craig watching from Kansas City, home of the Super Bowl champs. Who else we got watching? Powell River, BC. Love it. That's one of the most beautiful places in the world. Powell River, BC. Love it up there. Spent some time in Desolation Sound.
You guys that are watching, please, you see that little share button on your screen? Go down and click that. And click that like button too while you're at it. So many more people can enjoy all this great live action here at the PPA tournament at the Mesa Tennis Center.
Amazing match on Facebook right now. Go to ProPickleball.
Not quite sure, Pam.
Just another glorious day for pickleball here in the Phoenix area.
5-7 right now. Tyler Loon serving. We had someone notice that he seems to be limping a lot. And Dave, you were the first one to mention that. We saw Tyler sliding for a ball earlier, and Yeah, it might be.
Loong recently getting over a very, very bad ankle injury that he sustained last year, and I remember seeing his ankle look like a tennis ball. Ref said that was good. Tyler's kind of shaking his head, but if you don't call it right away out and you don't see it clearly, that ball is in.
8-5 Tyson McGuffin here. Controlling play, making Loong work. That ball has the right direction, but it's long. Again, both these players, similar game style actually, Dave. They really use their speed around the court, their agility to create opportunities, create angles, and especially to use that forehand of theirs.
Both players are very long and lengthy, and they know how to generate angles. And there is the Loong two-handed backhand weapon that, unfortunately, I have personally experienced when I play against him. I think he is one of the best two-handed backhands in the game, men or women. He generates an unbelievable amount of pace on it, always rolls it with topspin so the ball comes down, and he's very accurate with it.
That ball tries to dribble over the net, can't quite do it though. And with
Yeah,
that, it's a point 9-7.
Don't think he's 100% here, Mark, physically, because Loong will always get to that ball when he's healthy, and he was very late getting there. So let's keep an eye on his movement. Oh, there's a great inside-out forehand. We've seen that 4 or 5 times already in this match where Loong steps to his right and goes with that inside-out forehand pass. There's another example of return in the middle part of the court with a lot of slice where the ball stays down. And it's very difficult to attack that ball, as we just witnessed from Loong. I mean, that ball hit his paddle and went straight down. Thank you, folks, for clicking on that share button so many more people can appreciate this great action. That's, as I like to say, issues.
Ball sits up a little bit too high. McGuffin goes down the line. That's going to set up the first game point here of this match. You notice at the loser's bracket, it's 2 out of 3. Players are going to be quick timeout. We're going to stay with this for a moment. We've got so many people watching that we want to say hi to. Of course, you all hit that share button because that was the rule, right? We'll say hi to you. You got to hit share. So we got Sue Finn. You were there yesterday. I'm glad you loved it here yesterday, Sue. We loved having you. Let's see. Shout out to Grandmaster Matt Loria. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, Matt Loria. That's courtesy of your friend Shane Stokes. Bobby Cooper, watching from St. George, Utah. Forrest Fink in Wenatchee. I wonder where that is. Tell us, where's Wenatchee? Outgrove, California. Hi to you, Corey. David King in Manitoba, Canada. Olivia Hackbar, Clear Lake,
my woman.
Iowa.
Bad, but you know what I mean, right? Okay, thumbs up. We're good.
Sue Blackburn from Ontario.
We're going to share this match.
All right, we can get to 500. I believe it, folks. We're at 364 right now. With your help, we can get to 500. This is worth it. These players are worth it. Scott Goldland's here. We say hi to you. Deco Barr, hi to you as well. Steve Peranto, one of the legends in the pickleball world, for all the great work you've been doing.
Put your hands together as they come back to the court. Show them some love. Give them some energy.
All right, we're now back in the action. Here we go. We've got a game point here. Tyson McGuffin serving, 10-7.
10-7. Game point. Nice deep serve to the backhand. Return down the middle. Oh, what a cover. Oh, and Loong was
read
there.
it. He read where the ball was going, but couldn't quite get that ball in the court. And with that, that is going to be game number 1 in this best of 3 contest going to Tyson McGuffin. We'll be back with game number 2 in just a moment. Mark Rennis and Dave Weinbach, the PPA Grand Slam qualifier from Mesa, Arizona.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person's sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first US Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
We are back live on Championship Court, 0-0. This is game number 2 here in this men's pro bronze medal match. Singles day on day number 4 here, the PPA Grand Slam qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. Mark Renison alongside Dave Weinbach. Our friend Ina Pickle is watching from a cruise ship, Dave, the Princess Regal.
We like it. We like it. While you're on that cruise ship, click that share button so more people on that cruise ship could see this great action here between Tyler and Tyson here in the beginning of Game 2. McGuffin taking Game 1. Remember, the winner of this match, Mark, will advance to the gold medal match where Ben Johns is waiting in the wings because in the winner's bracket final about an hour and a half ago, he beat McGuffin in a 3-set thriller.
It's a point for McGuffin, 1-0. There you go, that's a clean winner down the line. You don't often see those against a player like Loong, as quick as he is at the net. Usually able to at least get a paddle on it. The return sat up a little too high and a little too short, allowing McGuffin to swing freely, take the point. Jeez.
He's going to get it. Oh, he didn't do much with that ball, Mark.
You can see, Dave, why players of this caliber go through so many paddles over the course of a year. In that 1 point alone, you could hear McGuffin's paddle scrape the ground as he's trying to get those ball back 3 times. Dave, I got a question for you about paddles in a moment from one of our guests, or one of our viewers, I should say.
Oh, great forehand on the line from Loong. That ball had so much topspin, Mark. It's dipping, and it gets way below the net by the time McGuffin makes contact with the ball and makes McGuffin's volley so much more difficult.
So the question we had earlier, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was from. They had a question about whether the pros typically use different paddles for singles and doubles. Any comment on that, Dave?
That's a great question. I actually do. I use the Paddletek Tempest wave paddle for doubles because it has more sensitivity and more feel, more touch, more control. And the doubles game is really about that. Wow. Whereas in the singles game, the emphasis is more on power and passing shots and depth of the serve and the return, getting a more penetrating ball flight. So for me, I use a more powerful paddle called the Paddletek Bantam. So some players will do that, Mark. These two players, however, do not. They use the same paddle for both singles and doubles. I would say that 80% of the players, of the pros, use the same paddle, whether it's singles or doubles. What's your feeling on that and the reasoning behind it?
Yeah, I mean, generally the argument for using the same paddle is that players are getting so used to one particular paddle that they would, even though in theory there may be an advantage to, because you hit different kinds of shots in different situations in singles and doubles, but sometimes they will prioritize a consistent feel between singles and doubles. And so I can see the argument either way, but yeah, you're definitely not doing it wrong if you're switching paddles, and you're definitely not doing it wrong if you're staying consistent.
Nice cover by Loong there.
Tyson's so good on that counterattack after defending with a drop. Really coming forward and looking to pounce. He comes out on top of that with the point.
A little forehand that clipped the net and ended up in a different spot than Loong thought it would end up in. McGuffin with a, sorry about that moment at the end there, that it clipped the net. Interesting, Mark. Tyson is serving from the middle of the court, even to a left-handed player. So I find that interesting because normally I would suggest that he try to stand a little bit further to the right to generate a better angle to try to get the ball to the Loong backhand, which certainly is not as strong on the return of serve than the forehand.
Good effort by Loong. The trouble is that Tyson really prioritizes hitting that forehand even from the left side corner, and the further he goes to his right, you're right, Dave, it will create a better angle. It's also going to mean that he's got further to run to set up that forehand from the left side of the court. And so, again, here you see him use that forehand from the left side to set up an opportunity.
You go around the post. Oh, it was there.
So again, sort of like, we're talking about the different kinds of paddles. It's a matter of prioritization. Which do you prioritize? Prioritize causing trouble for your opponent with the serve, or creating opportunities for yourself on that third shot. And what we see from McGuffin typically is that he's going to put more eggs in the basket of getting that forehand for the third shot that he wants. And with that, we have a quick timeout. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. Mark Rennes and Dave Weinbach coming back to center court with more from game number 2 here in Mesa. We're back live here. Mark Renneson alongside Dave the Badger Weinbach, and we are enjoying, we hope you are too, some nice men's pro singles bronze medal action.
What a treat here, Mark, to be courtside, right behind where McGuffin is serving right now, in the shade, in a very comfortable, under a very comfortable tent, to take in all this great action all day long. And we are at 6-1 here in game 2, and that's going to sail about 5 feet long. A very wild, uncharacteristic serve by McGuffin. Thank you for joining us, pickleball friends around the country and around the world.
The ball catches the top of the tape, doesn't squibble over. Sometimes it will. McGuffin's going to get the serve back, serving this time at 6-1.
Oh, look at that cover.
Once again, Loong working hard to get his paddle on the ball, but from that position couldn't do much with it. McGuffin's happy with that result, stretching his lead to 7-1 here in game number 2, having won game number 1 11-7. The winner of this will go on to play Ben Johns on this court.
Look where he puts that serve.
Ball's just long.
It just amazes me, Mark, with the velocity of his serve and the accuracy that he gets with the spots that he picks to aim it.
Look at that angle. Loves that forehand, that little inside out. McGuffin in that situation, so tough to read that Loong essentially has to guess, because McGuffin can play that off-speed little dipping mini drive, we could call it, or he can rip it down the line, and from that position the angles are so tough. Might think that Loong starts to hit the return down the center of the court more, Dave, going forward, if he can, to reduce the angles McGuffin has to work with.
I'm surprised he hasn't mixed it up more. You know, when I play singles, I try to mix up the return. So I'll attack deep to the backhand, I'll roll some to the forehand, but I'll also try to return some down the middle, as you say, to not give your opponent an angle for the pass.
It's going to be a quick referee timeout here. We're going to stay with the stream here as we're heading into match point here. McGuffin about to serve. He's got Tyler Loong on his heels a little bit. And a reminder that coming up after this match, we're going to be seeing the gold medal match here, which will...
I definitely feel, Mark, that one point in the first game where Loong slid into one ball going to his right and then came back and slid left, I think he hurt himself on that slide to his left, and he is not going to use this as an excuse in any post-game comments or post-game interviews, I guarantee it, because the guy is such a competitor and such a battler, and he's not going to make excuses. But he is not 100% right now. His movement is slightly impaired.
And his impaired movement is better than my regular movement. All right, back to match point here.
I would
Tyson
agree with
McGuffin. Thanks. Tyson McGuffin serving.
Okay, now here's the real results. That was just a cruel joke. Here we go. Men singles, skill level 3.0.
Tyler takes an extra long.
Serve.
Tyler takes an extra long look at it. And that's going to be match point. McGuffin happy about it. Congratulations from Loong. McGuffin, not unexpected. We thought there was a pretty good chance we would see these two heavyweights battling out for the gold. We will in a few minutes as Tyler Loong has to settle for third, Dave.
We thought it would be about 2 hours after their previous matchup, and I think we're going to be within about 7 minutes of that call, Mark. So, folks, stay tuned. Don't go far. The next match we're going to bring you is going to be the gold medal match here in men's singles. Ben Johns coming through the winner's bracket unscathed, taking on Tyson McGuffin, who earned a berth in that match by taking out Tyler Loong here in this bronze medal match
All
at
right,
the inaugural PPA event here in Mesa, Arizona, Mark.
And Dave, you going to join us for that final?
Would never miss it, Mark.
All right, sounds great. We're going to be back with more in just a little bit. In the meantime, enjoy these terrific commercials from the companies that help make the PPA Tour possible. We're going to be back right here. Stay close. Coming back from Mesa. McGuffin here on this championship court, right, Melissa? 10 minutes. You got 10 minutes to do whatever you need to do. Tell all your friends how jealous they should be of you being here. We're going to see Tyson McGuffin coming back to play Ben Johns. That's going to be a rematch from earlier. Ben is the one who sent Tyson into the loser's bracket. Tyson sponsor it out. And it's going to be a great rematch. You got 10 minutes, then come back here. And if you are watching on that live stream, or you can just go on to Facebook and see it at ProPickleball, click share, and then in the meantime, our DJ, also the CEO of Jigsaw Health, Patrick Sullivan Jr. You got some music for us?
No doubt.
I think he does.
Here we go, y'all.
Here's what we do.
So you may be wondering, how does the CEO of a vitamin company get so good at DJing? That was a joke. Yes, I am the CEO, but I'm not the formulator. That's the important part. I do the marketing, not the formulations. That's my dad. He's the scientist that does the formulations. Meaning, it's safe to take our stuff. Irina, welcome to center court. Ladies and gentlemen, your gold medalist. I'd be happy to. My camera too. Yes. I got you. Are we still live streaming right now? Oh, let's get you hooked up there, sir.
anything? You okay?
championship court with referee Paul Rams is the men's singles pro-band match between Ben Giles, who's currently undefeated, and Tyson McGuffin. Ben Giles and Tyson McGuffin playing for the gold. Who's going to walk away with it? Right now in the championship.
That's right, coming up, the gold medal match. For those of you here, you're about to witness something incredible. These guys already played once today, and it was a duel. Why don't we pull out our phones and share what we have so that everybody on Facebook around the world can see it. I'm to understand, we actually have people on cruise ships watching pickleball right now. They're sailing the seas, the high seas of the Caribbean, and watching pickleball. How great is that? One quick note. We're basically at last call for food. So the food trucks, if you were expecting to watch this match and then go get yourself some food, you're going to want to go grab that first. The ice cream is still outside, so we're good on that? But if you need some food, now's the time to go get it. One more time, a thank you to our sponsors. We got ProPickleball. We got Paddletek. C&D Pickleball Nets. Give it up for Cammie. She was your silver medalist today. Cammie and Darren providing the PPA with these amazing nets. We've got Selkirk Sport. We got Pickleball Central over there. Give it up for Pickleball Central. The ubiquitous orange. John Cowley. They're still selling paddles back there. Am I right, John? Are we selling paddles? We're still selling paddles. So if you're looking for a deal, I think they're doing 90% off right now. Is that correct? No, 90%, 95% off. Oh my goodness, there we go, 95% off. If you've got a $5 bill, you can walk away with one of the best paddles in the business. Oh boy, Pickleball Central's getting flooded. Flooded. John, I apologize. Okay, the sale is over. No more sale. Sale's over. Hey everybody, let's put your hands together for your amazing announcer. We got Mark Renison from Third Shot Sports. Can you put your hands together for Mark? It's sad that you guys don't get to hear the play-by-play that I'm getting to hear in the DJ booth with Mr. Mark Renison. He's doing a fantastic job. And providing that live broadcast are these two great gentlemen right here. Let's give it up for Pro Pickleball Carl Schmitz and Steve, the Hitman Taylor. Yeah, look out. Everybody in a PPA shirt, if you could stand up right now. You're wearing those gold shirts. You've been out here today. Wait, actually, maybe you just bought one. Don't stand up. You're not getting congratulated. Don't stand up. Sit down. Sit down. Perfect. Everybody from the PPA, we're so blessed that you put on this tournament this weekend. Amazing. Fantastic weather. Please dial that in for all pickleball tournaments in 2020. All right, PPA, you guys are in charge of the weather from now on. This was perfect. Who else I got? Let's give it up for the Mesa Tennis Center, currently called the Mesa Pickleball Center. Has this been a great venue or what?
Melissa McCurley and pickleballtournaments.com.
Certainly. Melissa McCurley, Pickleball Tournaments. Melissa, turn around, look at me. There you are, wave to the crowd. Give it up to Melissa McCurley of Pickleball Tournaments. If you play a pickleball tournament in 2020, you're going to be on her software, pickleballtournaments.com.
Volunteers?
And one more time, the amazing referees that we have had. You guys have done a fantastic job except for 2 times. But we're not going to talk about those 2 times. We're putting that away, never to be talked of. Finally, the volunteers who put up the signage, who organized basically everything to bring this together. Connor, if you can hear me in the sound of my voice, I see the commissioner over there standing by the VIP center. Yeah, he was just lounging in the VIP, doing nothing, being lazy. We see you, Connor. And Connor Ogden, taking down signs. You guys have done an amazing job organizing this. Thanks for bringing all these great sponsors together, these great players. Okay, are you ready to get these players fired up? Because I know I am. Share this match, Pro Pickleball. This is the gold medal, baby. This is the last match of PPA.
And we are getting ready for the gold medal final between Ben Johns, who has gone all day without losing a match, and Tyson McGuffin, who's fought his way out of the loser's bracket. Let's take a look at the path to the podium for these players as we get ready for this heavyweight battle out here.
And of course, we witnessed this heavyweight battle.
Taylor from Digital Spatula.
Mr. Referee, can you give us a little mic check there? It sounds great. You sound amazing. Now have you sing.
Just have a little technical difficulty here. Oh, no problem. We'll get over that in a second.
Next match.
You know, we've been streaming a lot here for the last 4 days. Those little chipmunks running the system we got here, they're getting tired. We'll see if we can boost them up. They give them some Jigsaw Health electrolytes. If you are getting ready to watch with us, be sure to hit that share button so that way other people can see it as well. They're going to want to get in on this great action here from Mesa. Tyson McGuffin, Ben Johns, these two have battled it out countless times. I would say Dave Weinbach over the last few years.
I'd say this is, I'm going to guess that this is their 35th matchup, Mark.
All right, I guess it's not totally countless then, if you can guess 30. 30 what? 30?
And I think Ben Johns has a slight edge in the total victories, but I would say it's pretty tight.
Medal days are upon us. Put your hands together for Tyson McGuffin.
This great crowd has stuck with us
to get here against Tyler in the bronze.
We started this bracket at 8
Give it
a.m.
up for Ben
this morning.
Johns.
Of course, Ben has come through the winner's bracket. So for Tyson McGuffin to win this gold medal, he not only has to win 2 out of 3 games to 11, he also would then have to win a tiebreaker, a race to 15 pointer, where the players will switch sides at 8, and that is going to be a very tall order to go up against a fresh and well-rested.
Well, before we worry about that game to 15, we've got a best 2 out of 3 match in front of us right now. Here we go. 0-0, we're underway. Ben Johns, Tyson McGuffin. There we go, and we saw earlier today Dave Weinbach that it seemed as though McGuffin was able to predict where Johns was going to go on those sneaky little shots from the kitchen line, and but toward the end of their earlier match, Ben changed things up a little bit here, and that predictability wasn't so predictable.
Yeah, and on that previous point, Ben held that backhand as long as he possibly could to see if McGuffin was going to kind of show his hand, and he did. And Ben can just as easily flick that backhand cross court right on cue, Ben. It's like he's listening, and you heard me, Mark.
It's a great chance to hit that share button so other people can see this great action. Two of the best players in our sport. 3-0. Ben Johns out to an early lead here in this best 2 out of 3 contest for gold. Dave, what do you think? Is the sun becoming a factor at this time of day here?
Not yet, but if this goes a long time, that's going to sail wide.
Start to see a few shadows coming in from the grandstand that was installed here on what was previously a tennis court. This has now been converted into a permanent pickleball court, at least for this tournament. They repainted the court, put in these beautiful temporary nets from C&D pickleball nets. I mean, they're temporary, but they're so solid, Dave.
Yeah. Mark, to what extent do you think it's going to come into play that McGuffin had to play that extra match in the bronze match against Loong in terms of stamina and fitness, or do you see that not being much of an issue as we look to this gold medal match?
I mean, it's always so tough to tell.
These guys are in such great shape.
McGuffin is incredibly fit, as is Johns. I mean, they've been putting work in at the gym for exactly this situation. I know it looks like it's going to be a fault, but then he steps over. Tyson, you'll see really deliberate pre-serve preparation. Sometimes looks initially that he might be having a foot fault by being too close to the tee there, but almost always he'll then take a little step out of the way, so he's fine, especially on the right-hand side. 1-4. 4-1.
Man, that was a good forehand swing at that pass and just clips the tape. Yeah, that's a great setup shot. Mark, interesting that we have this matchup in the final. One of the interesting things about these two players is I personally think they have the two best serves in the entire game of pickleball, but I also think they have the two best returns of serve in the game. And when you put those two skills together, and as you know, those are such important skills in singles. Much more emphasis in singles on those two shots than in doubles.
Yeah, I mean, how you start the point matters, whether you're serving or receiving, because it doesn't dictate, well, I mean, it doesn't totally determine how the point's going to go, but it does influence it one way or the other. If you start the point off well, things tend to go your way, and if you start it off poorly or thoughtlessly, usually you're not rewarded. We see a nice return of serve that's low to the backhand side there from McGuffin. We will see, we saw one before, a lob serve occasionally thrown in by McGuffin. He did have some success earlier. Here's another lob serve there by changing up the rhythm, and once again gets an unforced error from Johns with that slow high ball. It's kind of like a baseball pitcher throwing in a changeup once in a while.
Pickleball friends out there, when you're serving, change up spins, change up height, change up locations. Don't be a predictable server. Keep your opponent on guard. Oh, terrific track down by McGuffin. John's in total control of this point, though.
McGuffin not liking his shot selection there. So much of playing great pickleball is about making the right choices, especially when you're under the kind of pressure both these players will be. It's sometimes tempting to make a different kind of choice, one that might be surprising, but if that's also a low percentage shot, might be better off going with a higher percentage that's more predictable and trying to battle your way.
So that'll bring a side out to McGuffin, serving at 3-4 here in Game 1 of this gold medal match at the inaugural Professional Pickleball Association tournament here in Mesa, Arizona.
So that would be the first time. You asked before about sort of fitness and fatigue. I would have expected, he looked like he was going for it, Tyson, after playing that drop, expecting the down the line dink. I would have expected him to jump the corner and hit that ball more aggressively. Looked like he didn't just get there quite in time to do it, had to play something more defensive, and Ben Johns took advantage. 5-3.
And you make a good point, Mark, because you can't consistently execute good shots if your body is not in the proper position to get prepared to hit the shot. So footwork and movement is so important.
I mean,
in this game, and much obviously more in singles. You know, there's more of an emphasis on it.
Yeah, but you can have the nicest swing in all of pickleball, and if you can't set up well to the ball, you can't use that beautiful swing. So it's true, you know, we often emphasize, you know, the hitting aspect of it. That's sort of the sexy part of pickleball, is when they hit that ball. What we don't always emphasize enough, I think, is the importance of moving to get set up, to put yourself in a position to hit that quality shot.
As that quality shot of Tyson McGuffin deep to the Johns forehand, and Johns forehand sails wide. I think that ball was...
That ball catches the line.
Caught the last eighth.
4-5.
4-5 here in game one. McGuffin going for the lob serve at the body. As we talked about earlier, that lob serve pretty effective in their earlier matchup about 2 hours ago, and that's why we see Tyson go into that early on in this match. Historically, McGuffin rarely ever puts loft on the serve like that. That might curve in. No, it stays wide by a ball.
Tim Housley was asking about the prize money for this. $1,000 for the winner, $600 for the silver medalists. And Tyler Loong, who got bronze, he'll go home with $400, and that's the prize money. Players will very often have clauses in their sponsor contracts where there may be incentive money attached to it. I know with Tyson McGuffin and his team at Selkirk, that is definitely part of the package. So it'll be whatever the prize money is here, plus any additional money players have negotiated.
Yeah. He held that a long time, and he saw that McGuffin lean to his left, and then pulled that ball all across his body to McGuffin's right side of his court, and that brings us to 6-4. I think that's going to sail out. Great driving, penetrating volley by McGuffin deep to the Johns forehand. Another lob serve, Mark, this time to the Johns backhand.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good, I mean, there's an example. McGuffin trying to be aggressive, taking that ball out of the air, wanted to play it down the line and give Johns less time to set up. Just couldn't quite get there in time. And I expect, Dave, we're going to see, you know, what's sometimes known as a walking timeout here, where Tyson might take his time a little bit to go get that ball. Not take a timeout, but give himself a little chance to get a breather here, as the better rested
go around the
Johns.
post. Yeah, Tyson expected it. Tyson was there, and he just framed it.
All right. And with that point, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more here. This Jigsaw Health Hydration break. Back in a second here on Center Court.
I've tried a lot of other products, plenty of electrolyte mixes. They either contain some sort of sugar in them or something to give you a boost for a little while, but eventually it runs out.
Jigsaw products help me stay competitive. They help me stay energized.
It's helped me become a better player.
Jigsaw helps me recover faster.
I think all of you need Jigsaw Health in your life. And you know why?
It's fun to feel good.
It's fun to feel good.
Fun to feel good.
It's fun to feel good.
It's fun to feel good. Cheers.
And we're back live on Championship Court. Quick shout out to Tyson's mom, Cheryl McGuffin, watching. Her son competing here for gold as that ball sails a little bit long. We're at 430. I believe we can get at least a 500. No problem. But we're going to need your help, folks. Hit that share button, please. Let other people see that you're watching so they can enjoy this too. Just takes a second. You are right, John Moore. You are incredibly fortunate. You've been able to watch high-quality, world-class pickleball with great production values. This is because of the PPA tournament, as well as the team at ProPickleball Media, with assistance from Steve Taylor and Digital Spatula. And this is going to be the team that's bringing you this broadcast quality for all of the events at the PPA, and also using this great Logitech audio-video equipment as well. That ball gets past McGuffin. That was
calling that in.
Ben John's looking pretty comfortable here, Dave, as we're nearing the end of game number 1.
He seems a lot fresher.
9-4.
Of course, McGuffin just had to play 2 extra games. Nice return.
Point.
Yeah,
It's
and
a
I mean,
rare,
yeah,
easy forehand miss by McGuffin.
and being fresher. I mean, I don't want anyone to misconstrue this. This is no slight against Tyson or his fitness. This guy works harder than anyone else in the gym. But it is true, when you do have to go through more matches and spend more time on court, it's, you know, it's not an even playing field. All right, quick hydration break. We're going to be back in a second with more here on Championship Court.
Slightly favored backhand. With hand-eye coordination.
Third shot's going. All right, 15 seconds.
We're ready?
Give it up for Ben and Tyson.
You have one come up with it. You have both of them.
Game point here. Ben John's serving goes deep to the backhand of McGuffin. Tyson guesses right, but can't keep that ball low enough. And there's game number 1, 11-4. Ben John's looking comfortable, looking confident. We're going to be back with game number 2 coming up here on Championship Court. Mark Rennis and Dave Weinbach. You're watching the PPA Grand Slam Qualifier from Mesa, Arizona.
But it ain't over. I'm sure Tyson has a little something to say about that in game 2.
So between Third Shot Sports, the Pickleball Lab, and Pickleball Coaching International, we got you covered.
Party in here. Oh, you know what I'm talking about, so you've been to one. Here comes the big drop. Are you ready? Okay, Ben, come on, Tyson. Let's give these fans a battle.
That's pretty close. We are live here on Championship Court. You've been watching Tyson McGuffin. You've been watching Tyson McGuffin along with Ben Johns here in this championship gold medal match. Denise Betchtold was saying, I don't know all the singles rules. Well, here's what you need to know, Denise. The rules in singles pickleball are the exact same as in doubles pickleball. The whole 2-bounce rule, that's the same. The whole non-volley zone rules, those are the same. The one difference is that because you're all by yourself, there's no second server. So once you lose your serve, it's going to be a side out. And if you have an even score, you serve from the right-hand side of the court, and an odd score, you serve from the left. Anything I'm missing, Dave?
I think you covered it in a nutshell in less than 20 seconds, which is difficult to do. Okay, that's 2-0 here in game 2. And McGuffin is on the run. McGuffin looks a little bit out of sorts here. You know, Mark, confidence is a very, very sensitive thing here in any sport, but it's incredible in pickleball how quickly momentum can change and confidence can change. One shot can do it. And I think if you remember how this game started, with a Ben Johns forehand painting the line, and then we got a little comment from Tyson. I think it affected his mentality. Let's see if he can recover mentally. And that's not going to do it. If I were Tyson here, I would call a timeout and try to regroup here. Physically, I think he's okay. I think it's the mental part of the situation that I'm concerned about for him right now. Seeing some non-verbal here that doesn't look so great. So the crowd is trying to cheer up Tyson here. They want to see more pickleball. They want to see a real competitive match. He's got the ball in his hands. Let's see if he can put a point on the board right here.
There you go. And at that, you realize he's got pretty much no hope.
That is not going to do it. I'm really surprised he didn't call a timeout, Mark, as Ben was making that 5-0 run. 5-0.
Ben Johns serving at 6-0 here in game number 2. He won game number 1. It's going to be an uphill battle for McGuffin here.
Let's see if McGuffin can really dig down. You know, there's not a more competitive person in sports that I've seen than Tyson McGuffin. I can't see the guy with any give-up, Mark. He is such a competitor, and he's so motivated and driven. That's one of the things I love about him. It's not just the physical skills that's going to sail along. It's the mental and the drive and the motivation. And Tyson is such a great athlete. He's so driven. There is no doubt he is going to push and compete as hard as he can here. And there we go. And let's see if this kind of gets his mojo going here, Mark.
That ball clips off the top of the net. That stays in play. Crowd likes it. Just a reminder, this is just the first of 7 tour stops on the PPA Tour.
Was that on? Was that on?
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. Flap the wind. You did? Okay. DJ Pickles.
Tyson says, bring on the music. I just slapped a winner. All right. He's got it to 4-6 here. He's back in this game, Mark, both physically and I think mentally. Let's see if he can keep this going.
There's the read.
He almost got that. It was coming back. If he would have put a little bit more air under that ball and got some more time, it was curving back in the court. Great hustle by Tyson. Ben's got the ball back at 6-4 here in game 2. Of course, Johns took game 1. Oh, that's just too good of a pass by Johns with the inside-out forehand and a much-needed break here from McGuffin.
All right, this hydration break brought to you by Jigsaw Health. It's fun to feel good. Back in a minute.
People have this conception that pickleball, oh, that's an old person sport, but I don't think they realize how physically demanding it is with those quick bursts and long, grueling points. The first US Open, I found myself cramping in 2 different events. When you start cramping, it's too late. And when I first started playing, I wasn't ready for that. The biggest difference I feel on the court with Jigsaw products is I'm not cramping at all. It gives you that mental confidence that your body's going to hold up. Jigsaw products will provide a lot of value to you both on and off the court.
All right, what's the next event? Is it?
DJ Pickle would like to apologize for the stray note that popped out of the DJ stand there. You can fire me later.
And we're back here live on Championship Court.
Let's go, boys. Here we go. Give it up for them.
All right, I'm posting right now the link to the next PPA event. That's going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. You're going to want to check that one out. Whether you want to come as a player, a spectator, or if you have to watch online, you can do that too.
So next month we're in March, folks, and then in early April we're going to be in Dallas, Texas area at the McKinney Tennis Center. And that follows in May. We're going to be back in this area, Mark, in Scottsdale, Arizona at the JW Marriott. So the fun just continues, folks. If you didn't get to join us here at our inaugural PPA event, please make it a family vacation and experience this great pickleball as a player and a fan, Mark.
That's right. I'll be with you in Dallas. 6-7 is the score. Tyson McGuffin trying to get something going here. Ben Johns.
Wow.
Tyson goes into the fence. Ben Johns is going to try to keep the pressure on here. Doesn't want to let Tyson come back. He knows how dangerous he can be. Here's one of those walking timeouts I was talking about. Tyson just somehow didn't quite get that ball over the net. It's tough. It's tough.
You know, to Tyson's credit, Mark, he really battled back in this game. He got down 6-0. It was not looking good. The nonverbal was not looking good. I think his confidence was shaken. And as we talked about, he is such a gritty competitor. There is just no give up in this guy. Ben's going to get that. Oh, nice anticipation there by Tyson. Oh, that's great pickleball. I think, Mark, if McGuffin had his Fitbit on, I think we'd be at 20,000 steps, and we've only played a game and a half.
All right, well, why don't we go back to the tape? We'll go count his steps, and we'll be back in a minute after this quick break. Mark and Dave here in Mesa.
Don't worry, Ty, we edited out the F-bomb. You're good. The first point of the match. The first point of the match. Oh, you're good. Hey, way to battle back, man.
Yeah, I figured that if we promote future tournaments, right?
Absolutely, we should.
All right, let them hear you, folks. They're here for you. Let's go.
All right, we are back live here. Championship Court, 8-6. Ben Johns serving. He's 3 points away from taking the gold medal here. Make that 2 points away. Not a lot. Even Tyson at his best, it's going to be tough to defend against that.
I mean, that was a good return. That was a good return. Low and hard to the Johns backhand, and he ripped a two-hander cross court. Uh-oh. That's an issue. I think I heard a sound that usually means a timeout,
Yeah,
Mr. Renison.
we'll stay here through this break as we remind people of the many sponsors that made it possible to run this great event here. You're seeing some of them on these great commercials. Other ones to let you know about: Onyx Pickleball, Vulcan Pickleball, Paddletek, ProPickleball, K-Swiss, Creamy's Ice Cream, Durafast 40 is the official ball of the PPA, Jigsaw Health, Selkirk Sport, Pickleball Central, and me over at Third Shot Sports. We're one of the official sponsors here of the Pro Pickleball Association. Thanks to all the companies who make it possible. It is an expensive event here to put this on, more than $550,000 in prize money. Got to pay for it somehow, and really appreciate all those sponsors contributing to make that possible. If you liked what you saw here, be sure to support those companies. Spend your money with them, or at a minimum, send them an email and tell them that you appreciate them supporting this great tour.
There we go. Here we go.
All right, here we go.
10-6.
All right, he's still alive here. A side out to bring it to 6-10 here in Game 2 of this men's singles gold medal match. Let's see, does he go for the lob serve to the backhand here? Or does he go for the hard one, Mark?
He goes for the hard one, Dave.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, once he gets him turned around, that's going to be tough. We saw earlier McGuffin using, once in game number 1 and once in game number 3, an offensive lob. But right now we've got championship point here. Ben Johns serving for gold. Not yet, says McGuffin.
Tyson's so good when he gets those forehands of leaning in and generating such great angles. He does that great on his backhand too. That time, Mark, it looked like he was really falling away at impact with the ball on his third shot there. And when you fall away at impact with the ball, you lose power, you lose control, you lose consistency.
Championship point one more time, Ben Johns. McGuffin, aggressive return. He's going to push Ben here. And that ball goes just out.
Okay. And that gets Tyson a side out. Here at 6-10. Trying to claw his way back here into game 2.
Ball clips off the top.
And I think that brings us to championship point number 3.
That's right, Dave. Number 3 here. Ben Johns looking for gold with this serve. Oh, just stays inside the line. Tough return. Got to hand it to Tyson. Still going for it on that return, even though he's down. .610. There's that lob serve you talked about, Dave. He might regret it after a return like that. Ben seems to, the timing that was thrown off earlier with that lob serve, Ben seems to be managing just fine now.
Yeah, he made the adjustment, and that was a great return that really stayed down. It did not bounce
Championship point number 4, Ben Johns. Can he do it here? And there it is. That ball is inside the line. That is game and match. Ben Johns takes the gold here in this inaugural Pro Pickleball Association Grand Slam qualifier in Mesa, Arizona. Silver goes to McGuffin.
Wow.
Good effort all around out there. And Dave, Ben just too strong today.
What an incredible first Pro Pickleball Association tournament here in Mesa. And Mark, it's only going to get better as we move forward with all these great PPA venues. What an incredible 4 days we had. It all started on Thursday. Go ahead, Mark.
Wait, here, you finish telling him. I'm going to go out to the court and do a quick interview with Ben. You finish off your thoughts.
It all started on Thursday with Women's Pro and Senior Pro Women's Day, and that was such a thrill. We had great crowds from day one. Turned into Friday, which was mixed doubles day, mixed pro and mixed senior pro. And yesterday, Saturday, we had terrific crowds all day long. A great live stream audience enjoying all this great live action. And today we finished off with singles. And let's listen to this post-game interview here with Mark Renison interviewing Ben Johns, our champion.
Throughout this tournament? Well, I think putting in a lot of energy is of course key. I just felt kind of zoned in at the end there, and it worked out well for me. So, I guess just gonna keep doing what I'm doing.
One of the comments we often hear from people who are watching, either here in person or online, is how effortlessly you move out there. Dave Weinbach in the booth says that you are one of the most underrated movers in pickleball.
Well, that's generous. Thanks, Dave. I guess it's a lot about ball anticipation, but I just try to get to as many balls as I can.
So great out there, and you and Tyson have battled so many times out there. What is it like playing Tyson McGuffin so consistently over the course of the year?
I think it's really cool that we get to kind of play each other so much. He's a warrior. He always makes me. It brings out the best in me, and I think it does for him too. So I guess we're both raising each other's levels, which is great for us, and I'm always excited to play him. It's always a great night.
Well, it's great for you, and it's also great for the fans, both here in Mesa and at home. One more time, round of applause for our gold medalist and champion, Ben Johns. I want to thank Carl Schmitz and the team at Pro Pickleball for bringing you all this great live footage, as well as the Logitech equipment that we get to use to make it so clear, both audio and video. I want to thank Steve Taylor from Digital Spatula, bringing us all sorts of special highlight packs that we get to show with you, as well as great images. I want to thank Dave Weinbach for joining me here in the booth multiple times over the course of the last 4 days. Simone Jardim as well, Lucy Kovalova, Johnny Pickleball Andrews, Jennifer Dawson was in the booth here with me, so was DJ Howard, Rob Cassidy. I also want to thank Connor and the PPA team, and finally Patrick Sullivan Jr. for bringing some great action here, both on the court with the music and behind the scenes with some of the jokes. So for everyone who brought this to you, I'm Mark Renison. We will see you next time at the PPA event coming up in Atlanta. Thanks a lot to all the viewers for being with us, and more to come from Pro Pickleball Association. Thanks, Dave.